My name is Writerreyes. We're here on another episode of Nakedly Under Construction. It is Writerreyes, not Writereyes, which means my last name is Kings, which makes me the Writer King. But in this instance, we're going to hear me talk a little bit. Well, mostly my guests are going to talk a lot. So today I have Selena Ferrer here. I have been waiting years to interview her. She expresses herself in so many different ways, and I'm going to let her tell a little bit about herself so she's not sitting here awkwardly.
Hey everyone, my name is Selena Ferrer. I'm 26 years old from Tampa, Florida. I am a avid painter, muralist, graphic designer, art educator, performer, and I would probably end it there.
Fine artist, new media. You mentioned that.
Yeah, new media. I also do
Dancing. Did we mention
dancing.
that? Yeah.
Yeah.
So many things. So many things. And you mentioned graphic design
Yes.
and like all those things in detail.
Yes.
When I first met Selena, I don't know if you remember, but I was in St. Pete. I don't remember like exactly the venue, and you were dancing outside on the sidewalk. There were like markets lining the street, and like people
Probably.
with different like venues and different vendors. And I just walked up to her because no matter where you are, you just seem to like you bring the vibe.
Thank you.
And that's why we wanted to have her on Nakedly Under Construction so she can bring a little bit of the vibe to you. So let's dive into what was the first mean or mode of artist or creativity that you did? How
So
old were you?
I started in high school. Yeah, it was kind of just showing up to art class and having a little bit more interest in it. I kind of would ask my teachers and pick their brain a little bit more about how I could use a medium or this or that. And it kind of grew into teachers, wanting me to, design a banner for the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Selena, could you help us out with, putting this announcement out? And so I started with lettering, really just simple, like, drawing on paper, doodling in class, to then bringing it into volunteer work in school. And I think it just grew that way organically. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So, did you do? I know like theater is a big thing for you. Did you do that back then, or like where did that come out? Because I know that happens a lot in high school. When did
Yeah.
that come into the picture?
Yeah. Theater didn't come into the picture till college.
Okay.
I wasn't really drawn, or I guess didn't know the ropes. I think I was drawn to drawing and things like visual art first, but it wasn't until college that kind of started to grow my confidence and then, start to dabble in theater, because I think I wasn't as comfortable in my body then than when in my later years. Yeah.
Do you think it had something to do with like maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like there's almost been this like create almost another creative renaissance when like when we were younger, I feel like it wasn't like necessarily, I don't know for you, for me, you were a nerd if you were creative. Like you weren't, it wasn't like necessarily socially acceptable.
No,
It was
yeah.
just you were like the weird person doing this or drawing this or coloring
Yeah.
this or over here being creative, dancing or whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you felt when you were growing up, or what was it like for you?
Um, I think that I certain moments felt awkward with art, and knew that when I would practice, people would kind of ask me, around school, like, "Oh, like you should do tattoos." It
Of
was a big,
course.
it was a big deal in high school to get tatted, get yatted,
Yeah.
And I would just like scribble on people's arms and draw doodles and just give it to them. Like it wasn't anything related to just like become or being an artist. It was just kind of like, oh yeah, I do this thing, and certain people weren't into it. But I wasn't loud
It's like
about
something
it.
you were good at.
Yeah, it was something I was good at, just something I wasn't loud about at
Yeah.
that time. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So, were you creative at all as a child? Like in like when you were a kid in elementary school and middle school? Because I know you said you mostly started in high school. Because we just knowing the Selena Ferrer that they're gonna hear about now and that I'm getting to know and
Yeah.
that I've seen, it's just it boggles my mind to ever imagine you not being creative.
Thanks. Uh, how it was then
Yeah.
to now,
Like as a kid, because you said that you started doing more of the lettering and
lettering.
drawing and like that
Yeah.
stuff in art class in high school. So
Yeah.
I'm like, so that's like, we're talking about maybe 13, 14 then. So what about before that?
Yeah, so before that, my dad used to introduce us to draw at the table, help draw books, and my dad is an artist, and he, although doesn't practice as much as he used to, he still brought that type of, joy to us at an early age. And my mother as well always supported like the creative arts, and so I would say, I mean, even in, primary school, just like 7, 8 years old, my parents supported bringing us near art stuff, buying us drawing books, help guides, So yeah, I think there was a push from the family. Yeah, certainly.
Have you always felt like a creative? Like when they asked you what you wanted to be when you grew up before high school, what was your answer?
I did not at all want to be an artist when I got out of high school. I think that it was a talent, but I didn't really see it like as a picture coming out of high school.
As being you.
Yeah, that was kind of the Selena self-discovery when I got into the 18 to early 20s. It was kind of the journey that I decided, oh, like maybe I can take this professionally. Yeah, it took time. It took time, but my parents supported me nonetheless. In every decision. If I wanted to study, which was
So
physical.
what did you want to do?
Yeah, so
What was the original
I
plan?
have an interesting background. So my high school thesis or final project was I wanted to be a personal trainer.
What?
Yeah, I was obsessed with athletics. I played basketball
We're gonna dive
for
into
4 years.
that, guys.
Yeah, so I was a bit of an athlete growing up, but I decided I wanted to do personal training to then wanting to do physical therapy. So I went to school for physical therapy first. I studied in Chattanooga, Tennessee, so that's 423.
Hey.
Rep my original raisin
What she
city. But now I rep 813 Tampa. So it is it started with physical therapy, and then I changed majors.
So you still really into being physically healthy and
Yeah.
all like being muscular and so on and so forth. Or
Yeah,
being healthy
I
or
think I was
like being
hyper.
fit or like so you can dance or like go more into that.
I was hyper. I was hyper, so like sports were good for me.
Were?
I am. I still very hyperactive. No, I mean, I delved into like health and wellness in my teens because of just like, life circumstances. It ended up being very therapeutic. And yeah,
Can I ask you what the life circumstances might have been?
Yeah, life circumstances was like, I think, when you have those moments where you go through something in life and you have like, this was me before and this was me after. Like, this was the life before this thing happened, and then this is the life I have after this thing happened.
What's the thing that happened?
So the thing that happened was experiencing depression. The thing that happened was just like a lot of turmoil in terms of views, values between my family. I mean, there was just a lot of like self-discovering I was doing at an early age.
Sure.
And was, I think, starting to acknowledge and pursue my own beliefs at a younger age.
That made you pursue physical health. That's interesting.
Yeah, and it's like when I was going through difficult times, then I leaned into fitness and sports. So I think being in sports at an early age taught me to facilitate and cope with, exercise and breathing and things like that. Like I was very aware of, therapy, I think at a young age in terms of sports and things like that.
Do you still involve yourself in fitness related activities?
Oh yeah, I have a routine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have had, fell off the bandwagon like everyone and their mother But I think now, like, I value it a lot more. Yeah, it
Yeah.
just, I value it more than what I used to. I see actually the meaning of like what it is to, save time and pursue like mental health,
Does it, I was gonna say, was my question was gonna be, does it still support your mental health?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you feel like your mental health fails or weakens, or you do worse when you don't work out?
absolutely.
Yeah. How often do you work out?
3 to 4 times a week.
Do you do more like weightlifting? Is it the dancing? What kind of workouts do you do?
So I try to do 3 times a week of strength training
Okay.
and incorporating resistance or weights. And then that fourth day to, fifth day. And honestly try to get walking in every day. But I would say like exercise, I try to do that fourth day with dance, walking, maybe low impact exercises. My world has opened up since I accepted, like, I don't have to be like a gym bro.
Yeah.
I can like do other things
To be
that
active.
to be agile, to be mobile. There's a
Yeah.
culture.
Yeah.
I definitely, have implemented, some of the gym culture in my life, but I wouldn't say I'm the personal trainer, physical therapist that
That
I
you
thought I
wanted to
was gonna
be.
be. Became the artist instead.
But we can roll that into dancing because that's a big
Yeah.
part of you being an artist, right? So can we
Yes.
talk a little bit about that and how you discovered that and what kind of dancing that you do and how you express yourself that way?
Yeah, so I would say I started dancing at the age of 10. My
That's before high
brother.
school.
That's before high school for sure. My brother, honestly, we had such a great relationship. I have two brothers. One of them particularly picked up a lot of hobbies.
Yeah.
Dancing was one of them. And yeah, it was just his mirror. Like I wanted to do the things that he wanted to do. He was my best friend, and like there's when he started picking up pop locking,
Oh
I
boy.
got into it. So we found ourselves like literally in the bathroom mirror practicing the wave. And yeah, I ended up like always practicing. I loved it. And I was shy though, like I would bring a move or two to a
Yeah.
party.
Yeah.
And I didn't party a lot as a middle schooler, but when we
Yeah.
had those like breaks,
Made sure she said that, didn't she?
yeah, I was not a young partier. Like when we did have those moments, I would, break it out. But I was still so nervous.
Yeah.
I was still so nervous, and I don't think my family caught on to the dancing.
Yeah.
I grew up dancing salsa and merengue,
Oh.
bachata because I'm Puerto Rican.
I was like, whoa, we're going back down to the ethnicity. Tell us what you are, where you're from.
Um,
Tell us about your culture, and does that show
yeah.
through in your art?
Yeah, so both my parents are Puerto Rican, and I don't know if it was just my family household culture, but my mom made sure to tell us it's a priority to learn how to dance. She said, you learn how to dance, it's good for your body. And she's like, also, if you ever want to attract a partner, knowing how to dance is a way. Yeah, she was real forward. Yeah. She was real forward, about the joy and the benefits of dance.
Yeah.
So, I owe it to my mom. My dad loves dance. He's just like not the dancer, but my mom really implemented that at a young age.
So your
And
family used to go to dances together, or just like randomly
dance together.
they like throw on some music and I'll be dancing in the living room, or like what did that look like?
Yeah, just like family celebrations,
Yeah.
holidays, like really just wholesome times of just like getting exercise in, with your family. And but I think like the street dance and kind of like funk roots style dancing, I followed my own journey into that.
How did that look going into that journey? How did you learn different techniques from there, and what techniques did you just decide you wanted to learn and why?
So I definitely was, introduced to funk at an early age, and hip hop. I mean, like my brother was like, he was playing Nas, he was playing Big L, he was playing Biggie, he was playing Pac. Like I grew up with like hip hop culture, so I think it was just one of those like styles that I really enjoyed. And I started though with funk, like kind of like trying to those OG fundamentals, because it was kind of cleaner music.
Is that what you listen to?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Till this day, I'm like a heavy on like jazz and like funk and R&B and kind of those
You're a soul
soulful
person, huh?
genres.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, that's how it started. But I started to evolve it in high school when I was going through, difficult times transitioning from high school to college and this whole pressure of like, you're an adult now. I was like coping with that with dance.
Yeah.
And it ended up being like a life-saving therapy for me. And I realized like I had to overcome being shy if I was going to reap the benefits of something that was truly beneficial for me.
So when you go out to perform, or start dancing in public, are you shy when you start dancing, or have you already overcome it? Because I know some people that are like, I have to start dancing to get the shy to go away. Like.
I think I've overcome it. Yeah. I can say that. It's been a long time that it took me a while to say that, but I feel that now. I think now the question in my head is like, can I do this and in this place and like, not throw off like, I don't know if it's a special event. I typically want to dance all the time. Yes. And there's moments too.
Every time I see you dancing, and I love it.
Yeah. Like if it's like I would say, black tie, black dress event, like, there's beautiful moments to like wear the heels and do the fun thing, but I mean, I typically like to stay around the fun, like if it's an event where I can let my body be loose, that's usually where you're gonna find me.
Yeah. What do you think gets channeled through dancing and through music?
Oh my God, it's an engine for relaxation. Like it's an engine and a train to relaxation. It's like it drives you to a level of confidence. I have low confidence days too, and there's moments where like I'll have to move and get into that, and it does end up building my confidence in that moment, like there's no linear level of confidence. I think that you overcome a lot of things, but even on those low energy days, I'm using this system to like help me, and it's a vibe, you want to bring good energy and good movement and it just brings a room of people together.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's personally the Selena Ferrer that I know, but I know that there are different versions of you. So you also have you said you're a wall muralist.
Yes.
How did you get into doing that, from doing letters in high school to dancing and now doing murals?
Thank you for asking, because it's such a unique journey. I started